What is going on, guys? It is your boy TKD123 here, back here in Place and Source. This is, of course, the last. What the hell am I saying? Let's watch The Last of Us HBO here, episode 6, where we are going week to week with our thoughts and review of The Last of Us HBO on the episode by episode basis, ending in a review for season 1 as a whole. With me, of course, the point in the progress, the point of the progress, the point of all of the progress is, of course, Mario Rivera, co-founder of Point in Progress. How you doing, good sir?
I'm doing well. As you can hear, my voice is different because I have been infected with the fungal virus.
Oh man, look at that! Got him.
At
Man.
the end of the episode, Kevin's gonna have to shoot me, so we're gonna have to get through this.
Now, when you got affected, like, was it like a scratch, a bite, or was it like the Slytherin like kiss type thing? Like did you let it happen?
Yeah, my co-host over there at Point in Progress, Frank, slipped me a kiss, and then now all of a sudden I have a sinus infection out of somewhere. So
the old kiss of death. Of course, I wish you. I
hope he loves hearing that he baked out with me on another podcast.
Oh man, well, it is. What is it right now? It is 7 p.m. my time, right? I leave for the airport tomorrow at 4 p.m. Right?
Yes.
To actually go to your city. Look at that.
That's right. You're gonna stop on by.
I'm going to Chicago. I haven't put it in the group chat yet on Twitter. I probably should. I'm assuming we're doing stuff for my birthday this weekend. I figured I'll just let y'all know where we're gonna be at, whatever. You know, that's probably what's gonna be.
We'll figure it out.
Indeed. But Mario, before we move any further, of course, where can people find you?
Of course, you can find me here doing our little Let's Watch here with Kevin. But if you want to find me elsewhere, you're going to find me at Point in Progress, where we do video podcasts and other TikToks that we've been doing actually quite a bit this week. So very happy about that. Those have been doing very well on YouTube. Very nice. Thank you, algorithm. But you can find that at Point in Progress at youtube.com/Point in Progress. You can also find me over at that Rivera on Twitter, where most of my stuff that I talk about happens there on the daily.
Yeah, I gotta get on the shorts thing. I did like confirm my channel to be monetized by shorts and everything, and I've done a few here and there. What I've been thinking is like, okay, Kev, like you've made these big long videos called icebergs, right? Where they're individual bite-sized, facts. Why don't I just take a couple of those, right? Strip them out, you know what I'm saying, and put them up as shorts. Like I think that might be the play.
I think that's the play. There's a plugin now where you can actually, I know you do a lot of live streams on your channel sometimes. You can actually do the live stream and then a vertical version of the live stream at the same time. And you can record clips of things you do retroactively. That's how we've been doing it at Point in Progress. I'll show you that. I'm going to show you that after this end of this recording.
I like that.
So you just do your podcast, something funny happens, hit the button, it records the last 20 seconds.
So we could have got Corey Cooker on the TikTok. Look at that. Damn.
100%. Yeah.
Could have gotten
I'll show you the future.
As a short. Yeah, as a short.
Yes. Which you can then put on TikTok later.
Indeed. The old how the sausage is made. You know what I'm saying? Look at this. Couple of content creators. Look at that. You love to see it. Down below, find links to, of course, Mario Rivera's Twitter and such. Point in Progress YouTube channel is Linktree as well. And just like the episodes that will be coming as well, we will keep Annie Wershing's GoFundMe in the description. If you feel free to give to that GoFundMe to support her family. She was the original actress for Tess that passed away a few weeks ago. You can go do that as well down below in the GoFundMe. And once you hit all those links, then you hit up ours. We have our Twitter, of course, our Discord, and our Anchor link. That way you can keep on up to date with the long form content here on the channel, including Let's Watch. And another road to whenever, PlayStation wants to have, a state of play, a showcase. Do y'all remember those? Those were nice. Those were nice.
Remember those?
Those were fun.
Remember when you freaked out for Final Fantasy? That was fantastic.
That was last year on my birthday. No, was that last year or 2 years ago? I forgot which. It's
was it like 2 years ago, right?
It's the pinned tweet on my channel. Let me see. Let me look. No, not on my channel. I'm sorry. On my Twitter. It was last year. Last year was with Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. Oh man, that was insane. Right. That was fucking crazy. Holy shit. Oh, okay. No, it was Rebirth. And then the year before, I think it was
PS5.
The PS5 version. Yeah.
With Yuffie.
Remaking the great. Yup. Damn. Double. Yo. Do you think we can get something else this year? I mean, it seems there seems to be a trend. If we're looking at the past 2 years, we'll see.
We'll see.
I digress. Usually here's where we'd have news. I'm gonna keep it real. I didn't see any news yet. Not sure. Cold on the open front. I'm sure we'll have some more later on next week, but we're gonna get right into episode 6. You know what I'm saying? Called Kin. Another word for offspring, right? I think, right? Like familial ties, perhaps.
Yeah, brotherly.
Brotherly, of course. Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
I was killing time to open up my notes,
Family.
but now they're open. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can go. You know what I'm saying? Oh man. A short cold open this week. Just to really bring us back into the moment of last week of its finale, where Henry, unfortunately, has to shoot Sam and he ends up killing himself and such and all that. So I felt like, how did you feel about that?
I agree with that. I think what it really needed was really just because we actually spend a little bit longer time away from the show than we do normally. I mean,
Okay.
Because the episode came out so quickly after the last one that came out, and so we had to wait because the Super Bowl happened, and so I really think it was just a refresher. Like, hey, remember the last thing that happened? This is what affected the characters, and then we're moving in straight into the show, which time has passed since then. Right? It's been 3 months since that period. So they at least want to give us a lasting memory of what was the last terrible thing that happened. And that's still plaguing these characters.
Yeah. And it gets brought up by both Joel and Ellie in this episode and stuff like that. But not only do we go a big gap from seeing episode to episode in the real world, well, not that crazy of a gap, but what like 10 days? Yeah, about like 10 days or so, 8 days, something like that. A little bit more than a week than usual. It's been 3 months since the last time we saw Ellie and Joel in Kansas City, right? So we have a 3-month time jump, which is now, okay, now they're going to mix it up because I think you remember when I brought up that, hey, like they brought up like 10 miles outside of Boston. I was like, okay, cool. Like, are we going to gauge it off of distance? But no, it's still time. Or it's back to time now. So it's, kind of all over the place. It's winter time. I like the call out for the dead rabbits. Probably low key. I think that was a very low key call out to the meme.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Okay.
100%. Because I was like, are they going to do the rabbit thing? I'm like, I know they're not going to, but I love that there's the fact that there's rabbits specifically.
Yeah.
It's the white rabbit specifically. And the fact that they take the one, I'm like, that's a cute little reference. If that is the reference, if we get it later, I doubt it. But if that is it, then that's great.
Yeah.
I thought that was the first thing I picked up. Because that's the first thing I thought of was like, the rabbit thing. I was like, okay.
So fucking cute. Fucking such a great read, man. And then so we open up on this old couple. I don't know their names. Was there any names for these?
Not necessarily.
Couple? Yeah.
If it pops up in the subtitles here, they don't really announce who they are. But overall, they're just a couple out in the woods that are living on their own.
Yeah. For the nature of conversation, I guess we can call them husband and wife. We'll just go with that.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Husband's out hunting rabbits. The wife, is inside, and like I like how. I'm not sure if it's like intentional, but she's like looking over in Joel's direction when he walks in, kind of like letting him know, hey, like over here, bro, like. Yo, like something's up, and it's just very clear.
She's just so tensely sitting in the chair, and just like rocking, and just like it's so funny.
Yeah, they're a great couple here, but I think the main gist of it is that Joel is trying to get directions because Ellie and him are a little bit lost. They want to make sure they're heading in the right direction, and he wants to confirm with both the husband and the wife where they're at in Wyoming right now. Couple things I want to note in this scene. I mean, we get this reoccurring for a few times in this episode, and I want to call it out every time it's said. But Ellie says, "Joel, come on, you're like 1,000." And there's a constant reminder of Joel's age in this episode, which will be a big thing later on in the episode. I like how the husband goes like, "Who's this little psycho?" to Ellie, just like funny shit. How do you feel about Joel using the what I call the double answer tactic, where we get two people, he asks one person first, and then the other person comes in and he asks them, and if they're the same answer, you know,
So for
yeah,
us who played the video game, he does that in a very dark and scary way.
indeed,
But the fact that it's used in this instance of, hey, we might still get that later, it might come back even further. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Like as someone who's has experienced Joel do that before, it is terrifying the fact that what if she was wrong and tell them the wrong thing? But I love the interaction between the wives. Is like, did you tell them the truth? Yeah. Are you telling me the truth?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like
Honestly, they killed it.
no, they're very good. They're very good.
Yes.
Like
Oh my God.
you can tell like they have been together forever. Like at this point, like forever, bro. And they just know each other inside
Yes.
out. Like it's very apparent. It's very great.
And they're living comfortably in this cabin.
Yeah.
It seems like they're actually. So this is a good reminder that in The Last of Us, not everything is like The Walking Dead, where it's just like camps of people with like skin zombie faces on their head, and it's like doing terrible stuff in the federal, stuff like that. It's like there are people existing in this world and having a life. And that's what this whole episode's about. And I love that this first interaction of these two people on a farm of just living their life, which is very reminiscent of later games, which is also referenced in this, which we'll talk about. It definitely is good. A nice little piece of like society is not completely fucked, and that there's a chance to have love. And there's this lovely couple that are having this, and I find that fascinating.
Yeah, yeah. I love that. She, I forgot which one says it, either the husband or the wife, but they say that anywhere where there used to be people, you can't go anymore, right? And like to me, I just thought that was like a cool mental like way to look at it, because it's like, okay, now post outbreak, like
Yes.
the US is like kind of inverted. Like places
Yeah.
where that were like, open fields and no civilization and stuff like that, that's where you want to be now. And you don't want to be where people used to be. Like I just thought like that was like a very cool way to like it's a totally different way of looking at the US, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a very cool way, like I just that was
Yeah.
neat for that. Yeah.
It's breaking up for that the culture of like building up certain things, and then now that's all gone, and like what else can you do? And so
Yeah.
finding a piece for yourself, and that's what everyone's trying to do in this world.
They make fun of firefly people. Like they're like, "What's the fireflies?"
great.
That's cool too. Like they have no idea what the fireflies are. Like
There are
that's
firefly
so sick.
people, which in
Oh.
this world, hey, shit, it could have happened.
Yeah, hey man, you're absolutely right. And then so Joel gets it confirmed, but they do warn Joel and Ellie, hey, listen, like there's this river. Yeah, don't cross it. There's bodies over there by the river. Like there's just savages happen. Like, and they say, hey, if your brother went that way, he's probably not alive. And
Yeah.
Joel is shaken up by this, and we leave the cabin, and we have first of many instances in this episode of to slight little detour that's going to kind of give context to that could potentially give context to this.
Sure.
When part one came out, right, different from its original release, there were medicine bottles in Joel's room that were initially in the original release unlabeled, just had just like random text, whatever, because who's gonna look at that bottle, right? In part one, there were medication for anxiety, and if I remember correctly, medication for like heart disease,
Sure.
right? So that could be me reading way too deep into it. It could just be Joel's just like beginning to be afraid of this world.
No,
Like,
I
how do
think you're head on as someone who does pre-listen to the Corey Cooker podcast. They definitely talk about certain things in the episode, and that is something that they bring up. They bring up, is it heart attack or is it panic attack? And a lot of people, honestly, when you're having a panic attack, it looks like a heart attack. And so having that in the game, at least being possible answers, in this instance, I think it's a panic attack for
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
I think it's something him freaking out because he's kind of living in the context that yes, he is getting older. He's getting reminded that he's getting older.
A lot.
Ellie's constantly doing it. He's not going to be able to have the same reaction time that he did, even when when Sarah died. Like even so, like there was absolutely nothing he could do. Like what is he gonna do? Run at the guy with Sarah in his arms? Like there's nothing he could have possibly have done in that instance, and he still feels hopeless about that. And that's what I think is weighing him down, because he knows that at any point this could happen yet again, and he does not want to go through that. And I feel like that's what's holding him down. I don't necessarily it's a heart attack, even though it does keep bringing up that he's getting older. And I feel like it's more of a thing of just not having the resources, not having the pills, not having the resources to take care of it. And that's what this is,
right?
In my opinion.
Right. And like we're kind of jumping ahead, but like fuck it, like it's on topic. Let's do it. Like I felt really bad when like Joel was laying out to Tommy about like him not directly saying it, but like alluding to like I froze up with Sarah, essentially, right? Like he like doesn't say it verbatim, but we see like throughout the season, even when he has that flashback to the first episode when he thinks about Sarah and he decides to beat the shit out of the Fedra agent, like it's so sad because like you're right, like Joel couldn't do anything in that moment. Like he had bro, like the world fell apart that night. You had no context what was going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it hurts that like he still holds on to that and like holds on to that guilt and blames himself for something that really was not his fault.
Yes.
It's like, damn, man.
Yeah. 100%. And that comes up in that conversation. We can talk about it now. We can talk about it later. But yeah, that conversation is Pedro Pascal at his tippy top. Just absolutely superb.
Incredible. Like, my God. Yeah, let's definitely get to that later on for sure. We're gonna stop there.
Yeah, we have a lot more.
So yeah, Joel has his panic attack and all that. They begin to move on. We hear some more Gustavo strings during the travel montage. We love that.
Oh my God, do we?
So good, bro.
Episode is so. Oh my God.
Yo, okay, so again, while
Halo the series, please. Look at what they've done. Get Marty McDowell. Settle the beef. Get him to do it.
Man. Like, good music is good music, man. From games, movies, doesn't matter, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, just use the IP's music. All right, we're gonna know. Isn't it something where like a person remembers like distinct like smells and sounds more?
Yes,
I think smells number one, right? And then I think sounds even above like regular just like memory or like a visual memory, right? It's like something like that. So use the music, people,
please.
They recall the river warning that the couple gave them. So Joel decides, hey, let's go over to these caves along the river and let's wait until morning. I thought it was kind of weird that he lit a fire. I know they're probably cooking rabbits like they said, but like wasn't Joel worried about that like 2 episodes ago? Right?
He was, but you do see in the scene that he is cooking with it. Right. So I wonder if that's just simply the reason.
Yeah. I guess that's
they also don't have they also don't have the lanterns.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair.
They did before because they lost all that in KC. But plus maybe they're just so remote out there. I'm not sure.
I would just poke a hole because I mean like I would just think about it like a little bit deeper because I'm like, wait, you get a warning that there are people across the river that are killing people. So I figured, okay, there's imminent danger in the area, low key, So I don't know, but I get it.
I could see the fall in there for sure. But I'm like, man, I'm getting some of that rabbit meat.
Hey, listen, man, get it. We get a beautiful shot of Ellie looking up at the star. Oh, the Northern Lights, fuck. Also, do Northern Lights happen in Wyoming? I didn't.
So my partner, who is a scientist, was like, "Oh, really? That's not possible." Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Okay, that's not possible.
Interesting.
And I was like, I know, but like narrative wise, it's kind of nice. We have this battle back and forth. They also the cordyceps and all that. Like we get into it, and they're like, "That's not impossible," and that's this, and I'm like, "Yeah, but narratively, it's cool." Like literally, that's all my answer to everything.
Hey, I mean, it's definitely cool, but like, could there be some sort of like answer with civilization crumbling, right, and like humans' impact on the like there's
I was like, there's no lights. There's no lights anywhere, so
no, we can see
everyone.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But I just
you can see it in Chicago now. I don't know. Like I just made it up.
But yo, I just love that shot of her look like it looks fucking my fuck, that's a fucking shot. That's a damn
This
shot.
whole scene is great because it connects to, if I'm not mistaken, this is the space scene. Are we talking about it?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
yeah, they're talking about it right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's do it. So this bleeds into a conversation where Ellie asks, hey, like what happens after we do the vaccine at the hospital, and all that, right? Joel mentions really banger things about how he wants to, what was it? Oh, he wants to have a farmhouse. He wants some land. He wants a ranch. He wants sheep because they're quiet and pay and listen to direction, like fucking at Ellie. But of course, those that played part 2 know exactly what that's alluding to and like what that looks like and everything. But then you can take it away, bro. Ellie drops the banger, bro. Oh my god, bro, the banger.
Just the fact that they get to, and this is the beauty of having a television show, having the foreknowledge of all the lore of the games, and being able to layer them into earlier parts in which you don't get a chance to in a video game. In the video game, you get to play as one person's perspective. You don't necessarily get to see from all points of views, and we get snippets of it in the second half of the game. So for them to import this information now will hopefully reinforce later if we ever see things too. Like if we ever get the scene in the museum, if we ever get any of that stuff in part 2, the fact that they talk about that they read books and they are interested in astronomy, interested in the stars, going to the moon, reading about Buzz Aldrin, but being Sally fucking Ride as their as the way that she says it. Just like, I love that. The big key there that I love though is that Joel knew what she was gonna say. Joel
Sally
knew
Ride.
she was gonna say, and I was like, all right, like he's paying attention. He's getting to know her throughout the months that we obviously don't get the chance to spend with them. But the fact that they're becoming a unit is here, and that's why I'm very appreciative of the show.
Yeah. Like that Last of Us Part 2 astronaut scene is like one of the best in the whole series. Like
Yes.
that, I really hope that still gets done in live action and like Bella gets to do that scene. Like I really do hope so.
Yeah.
My
Quick question.
my bet's that we will, but yeah, what's up?
No, I was gonna say because that scene is enhanced in the video game with the sounds and stuff like that. I wonder if we're gonna get that next week when they do the the fighting game.
Oh,
I doubt it.
Oh, that would be fucking sick though. That would
It
be
would be
sick.
sick, but I don't think they're gonna do it.
Yeah, I can see it not, but dude, that'd be sick. That'd be sick.
That would be fun.
That'd be so cool. That'd be so cool.
Yeah.
One last quote before we head off from that 910 team. I just love when Ellie says that in the QZ she had the ocean behind her and a wall in front of her, so she looked up to the stars. Like, fuck, like who fucking wrote that shit? I love that shit.
Duffy, just ugh.
Oh, I mean, there's too much in this episode, but like one more thing I want to say is that like Ellie then quickly, that their conversation about like what they dream about and like what they want after the vaccine and everything turns into like a lot of sadness when Ellie, you see her whole facial animation just like turn and like be like, well, what if it doesn't work? And then like, I think this is really cool context to, I think, have into the game as well, where Joel says, listen, Marlene's not stupid. All right. So like, if she says that she can do it, like, I believe Marlene, like she's not someone to just, chase, strings, whatever. Right.
No.
So I really like that added context to a little bit of Joel, not only of course wanting to make this journey and doing this for Tess, right? But also he knows that chances are like Marlene knows what she's talking about. I thought that was a cool little thing.
Yeah, I think he's finally had time to actually get into the fact, and we learned that he gets into the fact that it's been 3 months, she's never changed.
Yeah,
so he's finally in the full concept. Like, yeah,
that's also very true. Yeah. He's very like he's 100% convinced. Like, there's no way he's not convinced.
100% now.
Yeah.
Yes.
We get a quick shot in the morning where Joel falls asleep. Whatever. Ellie takes point, basically showing that Ellie's knows a thing or two when Joel's showing her the ropes and stuff like that of keeping watch and all that. They keep on going. Ellie tries to whistle like in the game. Love that. A little bit of a detail there. Ellie says that she wants to hunt in this scene too, which I'm like, you're gonna need to learn very soon. very, very soon. You're gonna need to learn very soon. You better get on that. How'd you feel about seeing the dam?
That was I actually thought we weren't going to see it, which was kind of cool. The fact that they at least allude to it, allude into the dam, because the dam is the primarily part you see in the game. right?
Yeah.
It's all the conversations are happening there. We don't see Jackson. We see it like in a faraway shot or something, but we actually don't see the full context. And while I'm happy that the fact that yeah, the dam is an existing thing in this world, I think it was a better decision to put in Jackson because, like I said, it grounds it in this world that we know from the games. So the fact that 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 it's just another part of this world. The fact that they go to Jackson instead.
For me, this was a really cool thing because like I thought we were gonna spend our time here, like how in the game we do,
Yes. Yes.
But then
Yes.
Joel says, "Hey, don't ask me. I don't know anything about that." And like I thought that was like a meta line of like, "Nah, players, like we're going straight to Jackson."
We're not
Like,
gonna jump in the water, do all
yeah,
this shit. Like, nah.
because in the original game, they're still working on getting the power routed from the dam
Correct.
to
Correct.
so like they're in the early stages of that, and then like eventually they move to Jackson and all that, right?
Yes.
So it's cool that that's already happened in the show already, and that's very, very neat.
Yeah.
And we get some great. I love me some dates in the show. I'm making my grand old timeline. It's gonna be
Of course
fantastic.
you are.
You know what I'm saying?
course you are.
We got a lot of dates later on. They move on from the dam. They cross a river that Ellie says is like, hey, like, is this the river of death? And then boom, we get the horsemen. Very tense, very fucking tense situation. Once they brought the dogs, I was like, oh fuck. I was like, oh shit. Oh shit. How'd you feel about them having dogs here? And this also adds context to the first episode when that dog was freaking out.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like, oh, like they can actually smell it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it does actually because the dogs that we've established so far can actually tell when people are full out infected, and so for it to have the reverse effect with Ellie was great because I think that's because we know that they're detectable by the guns, the little machines that they have. But the fact that the dog can't tell, so there's nothing wrong with Ellie, I think is a fun indication. I will say the tension of the scene immediately evaporated for me because I know who Ruth Wesley is, plays Maria. And so the
Oh.
fact I saw them on the horse, I was like, oh, I know who this is. So I immediately knew.
Oh, okay. I see. Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah. So I really knew this was, Tommy's people. But at the same time, I was just like, okay, good.
Yeah,
It's
that
like,
one.
I don't have to worry too much.
Yeah, that one caught me off guard. I did not know what was going on here. Yeah, okay, so okay, that's cool. That's
Yes.
cool.
But the tension here is Joel again can't do anything.
Yeah.
He literally has 10 people staring at him, and there's nothing he can do about this fucking dog. So it's just like it is what it is. It just adds to that tension of like, yeah, he can't control the situation, and that's what hurts him.
I think this does. I got two things to say, and like something that you just brought up, right? And like in the game, we don't really think about all of the perceived close calls in the game that like
Yes.
would have been close calls in real life, and like I think this show is doing a really good job at like showing us like, hey, like this is actually happening, and see how fucking crazy this is. That they go from
Yes.
Boston to Salt Lake City, across the country, a whole year-long trip, and they do it somehow, like,
Yes.
and that's gonna take a toll on you, So like it's
Yeah.
very cool that like they're really treating it like, no, like let's really look at what happened in The Last of Us, and not like
And
just like a game way of looking at it, where it's
No, absolutely. And I feel like that's where the diversion between how people feel about the ending, specifically, of how they feel like Joel's the good guy or Joel's the bad guy. Honestly, he is only making the decision for himself. I don't necessarily think he's a good guy or a bad guy.
Right.
But in the same way of like, he's the action star, he's the main character. I'm like, no, he's not. he's in collusion with Ellie. And so yes, I agree with you. Like we don't think about these things. We don't see the toll it actually takes on people. And I think that's partially because it's a video game, but being able to see it in a format in which there's multiple perspectives, I find that refreshing.
right. I do want to get a little nerdy here, involving the nature of Ellie's immunity. Right. It's been
Yes.
long debated. Like, does Ellie carry the virus? Right.
Gotcha.
Like that's been the big debate as to like what is the extent of her immunity? Is it that she just doesn't? Is she quote unquote asymptomatic? Right. And like she can't, like she doesn't appear that she has it, right? And she doesn't experience symptoms, but like is she still infected? That was a big long debate that like Reddit has had, and like I've had when I did my research for The Last of Us Iceberg, like that was on there. Like, hey, like what is the nature of Ellie's immunity? Like, is it that she's not infected or she's not showing? You know what I'm saying? Because when we have because then what's with the machine thing? Because on the machine it says that she's infected.
Yeah.
But the
Yes.
but the dogs don't smell her.
I wonder.
You know what I'm saying?
I wonder. So we're actually gonna. So in the video games, we never seen her birth,
Very true.
but we know that in this trailer that we saw for the show that we're gonna see
Oh, we're
some
gonna get
sort of birth.
answers. Okay.
Or I think we're getting a little bit of answers. If I had to guess, this is me totally guessing. I don't know this.
Okay.
The Ashley Johnson scene is going to be about her probably being infected when she has Ellie, and I wonder if it's sort of like a blood thing, or sort of like not a blood, but like some sort of like passing on the fact that it was happened during birth. Is that why she's not infected, like in a normal sense,
Right.
and that's why she has this immunity, and therefore she is infected. She isn't like at the same time. Like she'll show off infected because it's in her blood or in her body and your cell count or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
But at the same time, she doesn't have any of the outreaching features of being infected. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm wondering if
Yeah.
that's the case. It's not the sexiest answer, but I think it probably will have more concepts of like, oh, she can be read as infected, but also, doesn't have any of the outward features.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that she can get bitten and just a scar now.
Right. That's very cool. Shout out to my dogs barking in the background. What's good?
Hey, they see me. They know I'm infected. I gotta
Oh
go.
man, no, they smell him. No. Can we just take a second, bro? Fuck my life.
I'm
Bro.
rewinding it
This
right now. Yes.
this reunion with Joel and Tommy, bro. Fuck, man. There's something about Pedro can just do Pedro. Listen, man, he's on to something. I tell you what, he's on to something with his acting thing, man. He should keep doing
Yes.
it. You know what I'm saying? He should keep acting because shit.
Maybe more shows without a helmet. How about that?
That too. That too. And dude, we're about to get back to back Pedro, bro. Back to back.
Yes, we are.
Double shots, bro. Double shots. Yeah, just this Joel and Tommy reunion. I just love it, bro. Like it's so pure, and like you can just feel the emotion in the scene. Like I fucking love it. I love it. Yeah, that's pretty much all I'd say. I know that like they have the Jackson Light Festival
Yes.
decorations for 2003, which I thought was really cool. Which then I'm like, wait, they're having a light festival? Oh, okay. Well, I guess it's not Christmas, just a light festival.
No, it is Christmas. It is Christmas.
So then, how does that make sense? Okay, so if the outbreak happens in September,
Yes.
okay, so should I? Okay, see, is it
It's
just that?
Christmas time. I don't know if it's Christmas, but it's Christmas time.
Okay, I know it's Christmas now.
Yes.
Like, right. So I thought in my head, oh, like every single like place that we see
yes.
is the place screenshot of September 2003. You know, so that might not be the case here because they have that makes more sense. So they probably have decorations, right? Okay, that that makes sense. I was like, wait, how is that? I'm like, having September? Okay, gotcha. That makes sense.
Just like in oh my god, what was it? Like Division, there has like Christmas
Dude,
lights.
I love
even
Division,
though,
bro. So good, bro. So good.
yes.
Dude, when I saw the dining hall lights, oh my god, let's go.
I love that most of this episode just, dude, did you see that? Yeah, I know, right? Like, but let me tell you, I'm sitting there, and again, my partner has not seen anything of part 2 as far as I know, and I'm like, you have no idea what happens in this room. Like,
Dude,
there's
the shit that goes down.
Like, yeah, this scene here. Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, okay, let's get to the real shit, all right?
Let's just talk about it.
So we get in the dining hall, right? We see the lights strung up. You play part 2. You already know what's going down in this scene. A lot of things happened in this room. A lot of crazy stuff happens in this room. It's fucking lit,
Yes.
right? But then Ellie, Joel, scarfing down food, hungry as hell,
Hell
as
yeah.
they do.
I would be too, man. God damn.
This-
Ketchup on the tables? Hell yeah.
Absolutely, bro. They're over here at the Olive Garden when you hear your family.
Straight
you know
up.
what I'm saying? Let me get tour of Italy. But we see this girl, peeking around looking at Ellie. You know what I'm saying? And that was a play part 2. Know what's going down. We think that's Dina. You had some context that you heard from the podcast. Please let me know, sir. Please enlighten me.
They won't confirm because I feel like the reason why is because they may recast this person. But the fact that this is a character from the game, that they may or may not have said as Dina, but they definitely did that on purpose because if you remember, they do talk about how they first saw each other in part two. They
Yes.
talk about how the fact that she was a little bit cagey to begin with, so it's a version of that story.
Yeah. I just watched that clip actually before we started recording. I saw on Twitter where like they were talking about how like Ellie kept stealing food when she first got there because she wasn't sure. Yeah, like all that like that instinct of not having enough food, you know. So yeah, that was fucking great to see. Love that. Then we start getting this really cool unraveling here of what's going on. It's revealed that I mean first Maria so Ellie is like judging Tommy for being judging Maria for like holding them up at the gate, right? And like, you know, almost killing them, right? And then Tommy says something to the effect of like a bad reputation doesn't mean you're bad, not always at least, right?
Yes.
And that's in reply to Ellie questioning them about the bodies that were by the river, and then like them saying, "Hey, you know, we just protect our own. Like this is how it goes." But then Maria, as she's saying, "Not always, at least," like glares at Joel. So like we already know, okay, Maria knows like some of the backstory with Joel and Tommy.
Straight up.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
It's revealed that Tommy and Maria are of course a couple, happy couple, all that good stuff. Then they go on the tour. You know, this is where we get some more. Of course, this is reminiscent of the original Last of Us, where we took a tour of the dam instead in that game. Maria says that they settled in Jackson around 7 years ago.
Okay.
So in 2016, yeah, 2016 is when they settled in Jackson.
What a world of difference between
Indeed.
our reality and their reality.
Tell you what. Damn, summer 2016, we was playing Pokemon Go, and they were building Jackson. You know what I'm saying? That's great.
Building Jackson.
That's great. Oh, and the election. Oh God, fuck. Goddamn, that was a crazy year.
Yep. Crazy year.
Whew. So then Joel asks, "How do you keep this place quiet?" And then that's where Maria says, "Hey, we just keep off the radios," which is then why Tommy cut contact with Joel way early on. Like that's where we should see it open up. Not much here, you know. I thought it was cool that they have a multi-faith worship center. Thought that was cool to note there. Maria says they got the dam working a few years ago, so there's that there as well. How do you feel about this really cool conversation where like they like Tommy's coming to terms with like, oh, like this is a communist like setup.
I thought that was great, especially coming from the Bush era.
Right. Yeah.
I think it was a great way to like bring it together and just like, hey, I don't know, it seems to be doing really well for itself. So, you know.
He was like, nah, it's not like that. And then she's like, no, it is like that. Like we're a commune. Like we're all like we are communists.
So good.
Ellie goes up to this baby horse. The baby horse is named Shimmer. This is the horse that she will use in part 2. Like that, she's a little baby horse, you know. So by the time Ellie's gonna ride to Seattle, you know, Shimmer will be all ready to go, all grown up. They go their separate ways, like in the game. Joel says, "Go with Maria, whatever. I'm gonna go talk to Tommy." You know what I'm saying? We get the conversation in the game gets split up into 2 different kind of conversations overall. In the game, it's really bunched up into one conversation, pretty much. This time, it's kind of separate. How you feel about this conversation here in the bar, right? Sharing the drink, catching up, 2 brothers, some things are revealed. What do you got?
Definitely a emotional scene because this is the first time they've actually got to be alone with each other. Being able to see Tommy thrive in a situation where Joel kind of was up to his old stuff, even when he was in Boston, you know, he doing shady stuff, selling drugs, you know, like being all this stuff. And like now Tommy gets to do all the things that Joel wanted. He gets to have the life, the family, and he's definitely jealous in this scene. Very upset that he was risking his life to go across country for this. And the fact that Tommy kind of cut him off in a lot of ways, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Some of the doing, obviously, from possibly Maria, but at the same time, knowing their history, I can understand. But overall, it is interesting to have Tommy actually lay into Joel in this instance as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Joel doesn't disclose Ellie's immunity or that Tess is even dead at this point. You know,
No, yeah, which I was actually shocked by.
I was shocked too. I was like, oh shit, like damn, like not even telling him about Tess. You know, I was like, damn, like fuck.
No,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I don't even think he does later either. Like I don't even think,
he does
says anything
well,
about that.
I think he. Oh, you know what? Because he just says like it's a promise I made to Tess.
Yes, and I don't.
Oh,
remember
that's right. I don't even think he even.
ever even telling him later.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point.
I mean, they could say it off screen. That's fine, but I just noticed that he says it specifically, like that she's alive, and then doesn't mention it later. But
Right. In this unraveling, Tommy discloses that the Fireflies are in East Colorado University, what we're headed to next in the game as well during this time period.
Yes.
And that it's severely fucked from here to there. Like he's like, yo, it's a lot of shit. I'm like, yeah, it gets bad. It gets bad. I'm so curious to
bad.
I'm curious to see how they're gonna handle the David stuff, but we're gonna get to that very shortly in the episode run for sure. Tommy is resistant. He can't go. At this point, Joel is just asking him to come with them instead of Tommy taking them at this point, which is different from the game. But Tommy says no because Maria is expecting. He's going to be a dad, you know. So Tommy says that he has to be careful now, which makes a lot of sense, you know. And then Tommy says a remark that like, I feel like I'll be a good dad, even though I really have no idea what I'm doing. I'm scared. And then Joel just says, I guess we'll find out. In like a very like condescending like dick way, you know. It's like, fuck.
Yeah.
And then
the line back though, it says like, just because the life ended for you doesn't mean that's the end for me. It was like, oh,
that's fucked. That's really fucked.
That's
I was like,
fucked.
Tommy. I mean, look, Tommy, like, I know what Joel said was bad. I know. Like, that was just,
what did he say?
that was rude, but yo, Tommy hit him with that clapback. That was like, god damn. Yeah.
Yes.
Joel storms out, says, all right, we're gonna leave in the morning, whatever. Another panic attack moment here. You know, Joel clutching to his heart, leaning up against a pole, whatever. There's kids singing Christmas carols outside, and then he sees a girl with a similar hair curl pattern as Sarah.
Yeah.
You know? And even when she turns around and you see her face, like it almost looks like a grown-up Sarah. Like it really does look like what Sarah would probably look like by this time in real life, you know? Close to. Maybe not exactly, because she was 14. It's been 20 years, so she probably looks a little bit older than this, but like similarly, like definitely the hair for sure, you know?
No, for sure.
Very, very fucking sad.
Sees the future that he can't have.
Yeah.
That he could have possibly had.
Right. How you feel about Ellie showering? Of course, we get another winter clothes set. You know, shout out to the winter outfit she gets in the scene. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to the house, by the way, being the exact same house.
Yeah, very cool.
That's sick.
Very cool. My lovely partner informed me of this. She called it a diva cup.
Yes.
It's a diva cup. It's so this is yeah. Please enlighten me.
No, I was gonna say my partner found that very funny as well.
Yeah. I just took a picture of her holding it. I was like, babe, like, what is this?
That's exactly what it's referred to, and that's all as I know. So
indeed,
congratulations.
it's something about, you know, stuff and all that fun lady stuff. You love to see it. Ellie goes across the street to Tommy's house as Maria instructs her to. Not much here other than like the memorial we have for Sarah and Kevin. I guess I didn't make it. R.I.P. What's really fucking sad is when you look at the dates. Yo, Maria's son Kevin was like 3 years old when he died.
Oh,
he was born on April 3rd, 2000, and he died September 29th, 2003. So like, he was just a little baby. Like that one's like, oh man, that's fucked. You know.
That's rough.
Yeah, like that's real sad. So, like,
Yeah.
Tommy has this memorial up by the fireplace for both Sarah and Kevin. Maria comes in and gives Ellie a super fucking purple jacket, looking like an eggplant. And we just learned here mainly that Maria was an assistant district attorney in Nebraska, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I like how she breaks it down to lame terms to Ellie. Like, I put bad guys in jail. This is where Maria reveals that Kevin was her son, and then Sarah was Joel's daughter, which Ellie did not know. This happens off screen in the game, so it's cool to see this moment in the game as well. I mean, in the show, yeah.
Yeah, that was a big point that Neil Druckmann have said. That was
really?
hey, this is a conversation that we never see in the game, and it's fun to finally actually flesh it out because in the game she knows about Sarah, and it's never told why she knows about Sarah. Yeah. So it's assumed that it's this scene.
I think in the game Sarah says that Marie told her. That's what I thought.
I think that's I don't remember if she says it, but at least this is the scene.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
They have a good back and forth where Maria thinks that Ellie doesn't know of Joel's past and the killing and everything, and like that he's a dangerous person. She does. I like Ellie's caught back of like, oh, you're scared of Joel, but are you scared of Tommy? Because he did the same shit too, you know. Yeah, I just thought that was a cool, just like tense moment there. They get over that, you know what I'm saying? Maria claims that Tommy was following Joel's orders to kind of like put the main blame on Joel, which I guess makes sense from a older brother perspective, right? Like I can definitely see that dynamic happening, you know. Yeah. Then Maria takes Ellie to the movies. I assume there's some deeper under meaning to the movie
about
the
movie?
Goodbye Girl. Yeah, that relates somehow to Last of Us.
Yeah. I could kind of explain it because they explain. So the reason why this movie is being shown in the first place is because this is one of Craig Mason's favorite movies.
Nice.
And the movie is about a mother and her child and the new boyfriend, basically, coming in, and it's more of a love story, but it's more of a love story about how the new boyfriend connects with the child, and they become a unit. So very much so that this is just sort of like a fun like illustration of like what's kind of happening in the story.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Couldn't see Dina in the movie theater. You know what I'm saying?
True. I didn't even notice that, the fact that if they were like sitting next to each other or in the same scene together, but
yeah,
I'm gonna keep an eye on that for next.
I was looking. People are pointing out on Twitter that like there's what looks to be an Asian kid in the crowd.
Oh yeah.
That people are calling out. Oh, that could be Jesse. You know what I'm saying? There's no evidence towards that. Just people are saying that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's somewhere. I think later on in the episode, like when we go back to the theater, he's like in one of the shots a little bit more up close, but that could easily not be Jesse. So, you know.
Yeah, these are all young kids. These will eventually be replaced by other actors as we go along.
Yeah, and I bet, and like throughout this whole episode too, like a lot of people bring up the point that like Ellie's obviously very different than the average kid in this world, right? Like.
Yes.
You know, even the husband and wife in the beginning of the episode pointed out that like, oh, like you're like a psycho little kid. Like, what's up with that? You know what I'm saying? And then like even Maria calls it out, right? That like most kids like are not armed like how Ellie is and stuff like that, you know? So yeah. I just thought it was cool, like seeing Ellie in this mix of a bunch of kids where like I bet she feels like so like not like anyone here, you know, even though she looks like she could.
She should be standing up and going into the back with all the other adults having a beer or something. Like, that's how I feel like she must feel.
And she's paying more attention to the adults on the side and like seeing where Tommy's going, you know, and like, like she's already, you know, we just see a clear difference, obviously, you know, in Ellie's upbringing and all that. And then we get the second part of the Joel and Tommy conversation. Fuck. Pedro Pascal, Jesus Christ.
Oh my god, I love the new boots too.
Dude, they're some good looking boots, bro. God, like I love how Joel just like, oh my god, like Joel just like, I know that's probably not what he's thinking, but like, damn, like those are nice ass boots, bro. Like very clean.
Yeah.
Joel instantly starts telling the truth about Ellie's infection and all that. And then I love when Tommy pulls up a chair and says from the beginning, because this is what he says in the beginning of part 2. And when he asks Joel to tell him what happened at the hospital and like, all that. Like I love that, like that is kind of a thing that happens
so
here.
cool.
I'm like, oh fuck. Like, dude. I want to play part 2. I want to wait for a PS5 version because I know they're gonna fucking do it. Like they are. Like, like it or not, like they are, right? So, but yeah, no.
Is it coming to PC or no?
I would assume so. I would assume it would. Yeah, like I would assume it come to PC. That's also my. Yeah.
PS5 version with the PC release as well.
Yeah, we do have a PS5 patch which brings it up to 60 frames, which is very helpful.
Yes.
Very nice. Thank you for that. You know what I'm saying? But that's all the upgrades that they did. But I'm just assuming that we're gonna get some sort of director's cut. Eventually. But we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to just throw it to you. Like, how do you feel about this scene of Pedro just laying it out there? This brief summary of what has happened between them two and everything, and where they're headed. Like, I love this scene. I love it.
To talk outwardly before talking about the actual scene itself, to have two Hispanic actors talking to each other on screen. One of the biggest shows ever.
It's fucking lit, bro. It's fucking lit.
Kind of fucking amazing.
Yes, sir.
But then going into it, Pedro Pascal is just chewing it up. He's had to have like Nick Offerman and Mary Barrett and all these other actors like eat the scenery for so long. He's like, nah, this is my fucking moment. And he goes in and he drops arguably a far, as much as I love Troy Baker's performance, he just drops the emotion and crumbles in this scene in such a believable and interesting way of how he feels that he's a failure and how I can take that and mean many things, not just for obviously the stuff that he's done, but things we've done in life that we felt like we failed. And so he's delivering the speech of a century, in my opinion, just giving it all to Tommy, and Tommy just sort of taking it in and getting to actually see his older brother crumble like that. I also find that fascinating as a dichotomy between the two characters. The fact that he's willing to open up to his little brother, I think that's also beautiful. But he kills it. Just absolutely breaks down and then tells him everything that he needs to know. I wish there was more indication that Ellie heard the conversation, or heard some of the conversation, unless I'm missing it. Unless she's in the background and I'm not realizing it. That'd be kind of cool if I see that clearly. But otherwise, I still think just alone, this scene's amazing. Yeah,
we don't ever see it other than Ellie just walking out of the theater and like walking kind of in the middle of the street. Like that's really all we get. But yeah, like that kind of thing that I'm like, oh, like you heard that? Okay, did not realize you heard that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I love this scene, bro. I think this is a lot more fitting for this version of Joel. We've talked about it. We've talked about it like here and there on this series, but the Joel in this show is a lot more, just not as angry and not as brooding as he is in the game. In the game, like he's a lot more aggressive and like a lot more of an angry person. Like here, scaling him up a little bit older in age, right? I think like this was all the reasonings why. Like I think they wanted to highlight that, like, hey, he's getting to an elderly age. You know what I'm saying? Like he's definitely getting up there in age. And so, how believable would it be for a person of that age to take a year, go across the country in a post-apocalyptic United States, like that's going to weather you. Like that's going to take a toll. And I love this reflection that Joel's having of like, Tommy, like, and it calls back to when they were having the first conversation where like Tommy's like, oh, that's something that you can't handle, like the road to the university. Like, yeah, that's something that you're gonna be able to handle. Like, there's no problem with that. But
yeah,
that's how it would have been. He even talks about like, yeah, like I would have killed that kid in Kansas City 5 years ago, and I couldn't do it now. Like, and it's him just like this really good reflection of like, I'm not who I was from like a physical standpoint, but also a mental standpoint, right?
Yes.
And like he's like coming to terms with like the things that we did and everything is piling up, and like I'm just not who I was from a physical and mental standpoint and like emotional standpoint. I love it. I love it so much, dude. I think it's really great. And you're right. Like, I think this is the one speech that we're going to look back on. And like, this was Pedro Pascal's stain on Joel as a character.
Yes.
We have so many things that we point to with Troy Baker. And like, obviously there will still be at least for me, an unwavering, of course, respect for Troy Baker.
Yes.
Original actor, of course. Right. But like Pedro has laid this was his color. Yeah. Yeah. I love it. Love it.
His rendition, like if people, I would say like, when you watch a movie, you watch a play, you watch any of this, you're watching people's interpretation. This is his interpretation.
100%.
And I think it's just as up there with Troy's, for sure.
Tommy agrees to take Ellie in the morning. And then we get the scene here. The argument scene. This is my favorite scene in the original Last of Us.
Yes.
I think this is yours as well. I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite scenes of all time.
Yeah. This is probably my second favorite cutscene of all time in gaming. I said that on the episode before here. Uncharted 4 has my favorite cutscene, but this is a second. Bella Ramsey just fucking kills this scene, bro.
Kills it.
Fucking
Absolutely.
Oh my god, dude, I love it, bro. I love it. Like the like everyone that I've ever known has died. I like either died or left me, except for fucking you. And the shove is perfect. Like I was like. Oh, yes. Like, yeah, bro. Like this is right from the game. There's only one line. I'm sure you know the line. There's one line that, okay, I get why this Joel wouldn't say this. I get it. With, once again, this Joel being a little bit less of an angry, less of a brooding Joel, right? He doesn't say the you're treading on mighty thin ice here when Ellie brings up Sarah, That's the one line we miss, but I get it. I get why it's not here. But
They talk about it.
Really?
Thank you so much, Corey Cooker. Thank you so much for being Corey Cooker. He's a fan of the game. You know what I'm saying? He should have been in the game. Who knows? He was like, all right, fans are gonna ask about this, and he brought it up. He's like, why not use treading on thin ice?
Love that line.
And he actually recalled when they shot the scene. That actually wasn't the line. It was actually something different, but it was in the context of how he did the accent and how the context of how he says lines. They changed it to that, the one they used in the game. And what was also different was the shove is not in the script. The shove came from Ashley, right? And so they basically said that like for this version of it, this is a different Joel. He doesn't talk in the same way as that Joel does. And so therefore it didn't make contextually why he would say that. And so that's why they chose not to do it. But I agree. I wish every line was there. Like same thing with 2 episodes ago where I was like, he's not even hurt. Like I would love to have heard that too.
Right.
But again, I'm loving that these things can just exist as 2 separate things and I can enjoy them both ways.
Yeah. 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 I also thought in this scene too, without having that line, I'm like, you know what? I think this is a really like, I hope we look back on this series. I'm like, oh, like this is a very good decision because like it's not like it's the game in TV, and you have no reason to go back to the game. I think they're doing this intentionally where it's like, hey, like if you watch HBO, there is a lot more to see in the game that you don't get in the show, and like vice versa. If you play the game, there's a lot to see in the show that you didn't see in the game. Like it's cool. I like this. Yeah.
Inline explains why video game adaptations can work, and this is being very successful. I know that a lot of people gave Craig and Neil a bunch of shit before the show came out. I know why they did it. They felt like they're too pretentious and that they would say that there's like, hey, there's no way you can be the perfect video game adaptation. Again, I don't think this is going to be the most perfect thing, but at the same time, this is doing exactly what it needs to do, is tell me the story in a new way that makes me want to experience it again when I go back and play it on my PlayStation, or someone new to experience the story and play it on PlayStation. It's Commerce 101, but at the same time, it's just a great way to tell your story, is reinforce the things that people love but also tell it in a way that honors the thing. If you don't do it, like I don't know, fucking Mortal Kombat, or even like what was it, Monster Hunter, or any of the Resident Evil movies, or any of these things, like when you don't honor the thing that you're making, then yeah, it's gonna fucking fall apart. Shout out to Sonic 2 though, pretty good movie.
Fuck yeah, dude. You think they're gonna kill the Mario movie? I think that movie's gonna kill.
Oh, they're gonna nail the shit out of it.
I'm like, there's no way. There's
God.
no way that's like. I was telling all my friends, I'm like, guys, like, there's no way that movie fails. There's no way.
No fucking way.
There's
no
no
fucking
shot
way. And
that
on
Mario
top of
movie
that,
fails.
on top of that, yeah, it's gonna have a lot of the like pop culture jokes because minions and whatever. But still, like 99% of that I see on screen is like absolutely nailing the music.
Yeah, dude, the sound effects, like fuck, like it's like damn, like I didn't think I was that big on Mario, but no, like I am. Wait,
Yeah.
like hold on, I know all this. What the fuck is kind of crazy?
Straight up.
Yeah.
Also, give me Detective Pikachu, damn it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They end their conversation. Joel has a little bit of a, which I think is a moment where he realizes that, okay, like he doesn't want to fail Ellie, right? When he reminisces on Sarah, there's a shot where his watch is fixed and it's, they're putting up a tree and you just see Sarah and Joel's hands. So I'm like, okay, like maybe that's the last Christmas. That was probably Christmas 2002. The last Christmas they ever had, that he's kind of remembering. And then we see Sarah's face in the morning of Outbreak Day that we saw back on episode 1, where like it was caked in like that like orange glow of the kitchen of like the sunrise. Yeah. I was like, oh, like that's a really cool way of like, showing that, hey, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say I will say though, that is just to me clearly like, oh, we want to add stuff to the scene and we're just going to take a shot that we recorded, because if you go back to the Christmas scene, you don't see her at all. You just see her hair. So that's my only thing. It was just like a pickup shot they just threw in there. It's cool that they have it in there. I'm just saying, this is the one like video editing thing of like, oh, you didn't record a shot of her at Christmas, so you just needed to add a scene of her. So I don't know,
Gotcha. Love that they're giving kudos to the curls. Yo, shout out to them curls. A very good curl pattern. I love me a good curl pattern. Tell you what. I love that. Yes, sir. We wake up. Tommy, takes Sarah on the way to the stables. Joel is there. I thought this was a very nice scene with Joel. Joel saying like, I was going to steal this. Similar to what Ellie does in the game. Again, I love that. I love that. Like these little swaps. Like I love that. Joel was going to steal the horse just like Ellie does in the game and everything. And then he said, I was leaving. And then like, I just decided that you deserve decision, and Ellie instantly goes, yep, you, okay, come on, let's go. Like fuck it. Like yeah, I love that too. That's pretty much the gist of it. I don't think what's the name of the horse in the game? Fuck. Oh damn, the one that they take. I know it has I know the horse has a name. I know it does.
I'll look it up.
Yeah. I just doing that. I just love how Tommy also says like, hey, there's a place here for you both. And then Joel says, I'm counting on it. So that is already laying down the foundation of like, okay, after the hospital, just like in the game, they will go back to Jackson, right? And go back to Tommy, right? That was probably very obvious, but
horse's name is Callus.
Callus, that's what it was. Yeah, Callus. Right. Callus. Yeah. Not sure if this name's ever said here. Maybe they'll name it in the next episode.
Yeah,
Ellie will probably name him. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah.
Don't name horses because they die and we get sad.
Tragic. Joel gets a nice gun upgrade from Tommy. We love that. Nice free upgrade. Love that. And then they head on their way. Adios, brother. Adios, big brother.
Yes.
In this shot particularly, Joel's looking old in this shot. When the sun is in his face, I was like, he does look old. Oh man,
he's got some gray.
Yeah, some wrinkles, some grays. Oh man, we get some Gustavo music here, of course. God. I did notice that they played the Gustavo track during the lie. At the very end of the game, when Joel says, and they leaned into the credits, it's like that track that's playing during this scene, which I thought was pretty cool. Just as someone that knows the game. Joel is teaching Ellie how to hunt, just like Ellie asks and everything. Cute little scene where Joel hits it just in between the H, I think, of asshole. Like very pinpoint. Love the line where Ellie goes, "Are you gonna shoot it or get it pregnant?"
It's just perfect.
Oh man. We move on after that. One quick thing I thought that was cool where Ellie was like, "So was the country like how it was in Jackson before the outbreak?" And Joel's like, "Nah, like it was too big for that." And I like how he describes it, where like he says some people wanted to own everything, and some people didn't want anyone to own anything at all. Which I was like,
God
okay,
damn.
all right,
Yeah.
good way of putting it, And then Joel goes into a little more backstory on his occupation. He was a contractor, you know what I'm saying? And then I love when Ellie's
Everyone
like,
loves contract.
yeah, that was great too. He's like, yeah, we were the best. Everyone loved contractors. I know firsthand. I don't have personal experience with a contractor myself, but I've seen the house that I'm in now. My dad had many a phone call with many a contractor. And things did not go as smooth as they said, you know what I'm saying? Things, all that. So like I'm like, like I get how that's a joke. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah. And then I love how Ellie's throughout the second half of this episode, like the contractor. Like she thinks it sounds so cool. Like it's fucking lit. Good times. Good stuff.
Yes.
Joel then is teaching Ellie how to play football, which is cool. That's also from the game.
It's from the game.
Yep.
Yeah, it's from the game.
Yep. All that. Then they pretty much arrive to the university, the same one in the game, Bighorns. I'm pretty sure it's got to be a real university, right?
Probably.
Pretty sure.
Probably.
I didn't bother checking.
They got the rights to do it because honestly, I paused the episode and I looked to my partner. I was like, I played multiplayer right in that area.
Hell yeah, we did, bro. We was going crazy. We was going crazy.
Sniping down that road. It was fucking fantastic.
Supply rate went insane on factions. Yes, sir. Also, I like how, I do miss how, because in the game, like it's fall time when they arrive here, and like it looks beautiful in fall. Of
course, it does.
It's already winter here, so everything's decayed, a little bit empty, vacant, and all that. Like leaves are dead and all that. So a bit of a different look to the university, but still cool to see it, obviously. They have the similar conversation where Joel is telling Ellie about university life and how people were partying, trying to find themselves. That's from the game too. In the game, we get dialogue about how Joel talks about how Sarah's mom, they met in college. Well, they met while Sarah's mom was in college. Joel never went to college.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was waiting for that to see if like that would be revealed. That was not mentioned. So still lingering there, but that was a dialogue that I think would have been cool here. But we did get Joel wants to be a singer. All right.
God, what song are they going to sing in season 2 though? That's what I want to know. Like, what are they going to do?
Oh, is it not going to be Future Days?
Oh, because that song came out 10 years later. I know. It's not going to be Future Days. So it's going to be something else.
Oh, fuck.
I know. It's sad. It's sad to think about. YouTube was not even a thing yet. And so Joel couldn't have watched it.
Fuck.
If you're...
Yeah, that was the reason.
So, unless he just, hey, I wrote this song and we don't question it, I'm okay with that.
Dude,
I'm totally okay.
Listen, Neil, Craig, listen, if y'all want to do one, lore breaking thing, I'm cool with that one. That one, let's do it.
I love that. That's your line. That's your line.
If we're gonna do one thing that breaks the lore, like one thing that breaks the canon, like really, really breaks it, I'm down for that. Damn, man, shit. Fuck.
I just broke your heart. I'm sorry.
Because now I'm taking bets like, yo, do we get an extended ending, right? That goes beyond the first season, and we get that scene when that's in part 2, and he first sings it in the beginning of part 2. you know?
Yeah.
But nah, damn. That's okay. Monkeys are in the university. That's cool, you know?
Yeah,
We
I was
can
happy
just...
they had digital monkeys.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, if they're gonna have digital monkeys, we better have some giraffes.
Please, please, please.
By the way, I actually stopped it. Okay, yeah, I found it. All right, hold on. God damn it. Never mind. Continue. In the scene where they're talking and they're having that big discussion in the background, what's right there?
What is it? Wait, what is
It's a
it?
giraffe.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. Ah, good call. Good call.
Yeah.
There
I
we
was like,
go.
oh, the giraffe behind you.
Yes,
Very
sir.
nice.
Jumping forward to the university really quick, they find the packing list. I think they also find that in the game as well. That tells them that they moved on.
Yes.
Pretty sure they also find
Yes,
a
they
packing
do.
list in the game. Yeah. A board that all the pins across the country are leading to Salt Lake City. This is where it's going to be at, boys. We're still going there. There were some people that were like, oh, is it? There was some questioning as to if they would end at Salt Lake City. Oh, come on, guys. Of course. Come on. Let's go. Bring it in. Bring it in. Then this whole thing plays out differently from the game. But I think to its defense, a lot of people have been not liking the way this has happened. I don't know if you've been seeing feedback on Twitter. People aren't really a big fan of how this whole thing happens.
Yeah, I feel like people, expectation wise, are like, I want it to be a huge, big budget thing, and obviously, the whole interaction of how it goes down, like in the game, there's like clickers, and then there's like a raider showed up, and then there's a fight, and then you're running, and then he falls on the rebar, and so like, yeah, I understand that people wanted the big scene. And just to me, this just made more sense.
That's what. Look, for me, I'm like, listen, this makes way more sense, right? Because number one, listen, even in the game, right? You're like, he fell 2 stories,
Yes,
onto a fucking place of like rhubarb or where it's called, impales him
on his back.
On his back, like that's gonna kill you, bro.
Yes,
like that's come on. Like if you saw that in live action, and you saw that he lived after that, which we're presuming he lives, that's I doubt they're gonna kill him here.
Oh no, yeah, this is the end of the character.
Yeah, I mean, but like, yo, like that would have been crazy looking in live action. I'm sure they could have done it well, but like that would be very unbelievable that he would live through that.
And again, to Corey Cooker's credit, he brought it up.
Oh, really?
He was going to
Okay,
ask these questions.
cool.
Yeah,
Very
it's honestly good podcast, but you should listen to ours first because I'm just stealing their information.
I love it.
They talk about that and the fact that it just doesn't make sense because these are more grounded because it's a realistic thing. You're playing a video game, so things are going to be a little bit more heightened, right? So you're going to fall from a second story and land on rebar, sure. And this is like, no, it kind of has to be more realistic. These are people that have injuries. We're seeing injuries throughout the show. We're seeing the fractured hand. We're seeing him tape up his feet at the beginning of this episode. Like things happen, and so when it has to be like a life-threatening thing, like a bat to the stomach is still pretty crazy.
Insane.
But it didn't have to be dramatic of like him falling 2 stories.
Yeah, like to me, I was instantly, okay, like I'm totally not even batting an eye at this. Like that makes sense,
Yeah,
we get the Joel stab scene by they see the bandits. Joel's like, all right, let's go out the back. They start making their way over to the horse / Callus. We'll see if it gets named that later on. But Joel's packing his gun. He says, Joel, watch out. And then a bandit with a fucking bat comes wailing at Joel. I think he hits the bat on the tree. The bat breaks, but he still has the handle. And then while Joel is grabbing him, that's when he stabs Joel. I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
I'm pretty sure. We're about to see it here live.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happens.
Before we get to it right here, in a few seconds, I do like, he breaks the bat. There it is. Right there. There's stab. I like how we get a cool POV of Joel choking someone out, like how we do in the game. Like
just like in the game. Just like in the game.
I was like, yeah. I was like, that's nice. I was like, yo, that's sick.
Tab X.
Yeah, fucking framing that shit. Fire. But yeah, crazy reveal of the stab wounds. You know what I'm saying? Like in the game, we do a pull out thing, and like in the game, it's way more, bro. He fucking lifts it, like. bro, it's fucked up in the game, bro. Like this is like okay, cool, like you know, what I'm saying? They fleed away, you know, to end off the episode, and then just like in the game, love it when Joel falls off his horse, you know, unconscious. Like I love that. And then we end the same way how we do in the game, where Ellie's biggest fear has come to pass. She is alone.
Yes.
She's alone right now. It's gonna be some good stuff next week. If y'all that don't know, I can't wait for next week. Fuck. Left
Next
behind.
week's gonna be interesting.
Indeed.
I wonder how people are gonna take it. Like not getting immediately back to this episode. I feel like people are gonna be like, "Oh no, Joel's dead." I'm like, "Don't worry, kids. You're gonna be just fine."
Yeah. At least, so what? It's gonna be episode 7 next week. So
Yes.
I think it's gonna be. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna get left behind. Do you
we
think
get any future stuff? Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking? Yeah, I mean, personally, in my head, I'm expecting we're gonna get left behind, and they're gonna, because I always dreamed of like, hey, like, what if they did a cut? Because I thought in part 1 there would maybe be a mode to be like, hey, after this happens in the game, you cut back and forth. Well, no, not cut back and forth. You just play left behind in this section.
I wish they
know?
would do that too.
Yeah, like I think that'd be awesome, right? But like, I think maybe they might do that in the show, but I don't know how.
I think they're gonna cut the mall. Do you remember what it was? It's where you're at the mall. You're trying to get supplies.
Yeah,
I think we're just gonna cut that because.
I mean, nothing really happened. Well, no, I mean, she goes to the helicopter.
She fights a bunch of raiders.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing really that crazy, but her being in that mall in the game is reminiscing the memories that we play of her when with Riley, right? So I'm not sure how they're gonna facilitate that, right? We'll see.
To be honest with you, a lot of the mall stuff that is not with Riley, all the stuff where it's like future part of the the present day stuff, is all facilitated by gameplay.
Very true,
right? Because you have to electrocute the clickers in the water, you know, do all this. Like, I feel like by removing all that and just focusing on the characters, what is making this show so strong is just doing that. And that's why if you see the future on stuff, that you show obviously the mall, but you also see a little bit of American Dreams kind of stuff in there too, of like her at the Fedra facility.
Oh,
so
really?
I wonder if they're gonna I wonder if they're gonna focus more on that specifically. Okay. So I feel like it would make more sense to just, hey, it's another bottle episode. I know that people call the Frank and Bill episode as like a bottle thing. I think that this is all just going to be contained, and we're going to get the story of Ellie through this episode. You're seeing this for the first time.
I've never seen it. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. Oh, I like this intro. Intro to Left Behind right there. Okay.
It's all there.
Okay, I like that. Yeah. So
very, very excited.
Yeah, we could get I mean, I'm cool with a bottle episode, right? Like of just focusing on Ellie because I want Riley to get her full due, please. Like Queen, shine right now. You know what I'm saying? But I always in my head thought like, okay, like we would get the first part of Winter with just Ellie and David, right?
Yes.
And then episode 8 would be the end part. Wait,
possibly
7.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
and then 9 would just be the focusing of Salt Lake City.
Yeah, but don't we have 10 episodes?
I think we have 9, don't we?
I thought we had 10. No,
I'll look up how many episodes are.
I thought we had 10. Yeah. Look at because I just don't know if you can fit the whole Winter and David thing in one episode. You probably could, right? There's probably like a lot of gameplay in that section that you don't need in this show. That's probably true. But yeah, I'm wondering. I guess they could do it, you know. I guess they could give us like an hour and a half long episode, right? That does all of David and then like all of Winter and all
9 episodes. Yeah,
there's 9
episodes. 9 episodes. So
nine.
Left Behind is next week, and then when we are in need, that's going to be I'm assuming the David stuff.
Yeah, that sounds like David. Yeah, you're right.
And then I love that 9 is still TBD. They don't have a name for it yet.
Isn't it Look for the Light?
It possibly is, but they said that. I know that there was a tweet that was like, some of the names are right, some of the names are wrong.
Oh, some of those are wrong? Oh.
Well, no, but to be honest, that's just them saying,
Gotcha.
Hey, don't look at those.
Right, right.
Basically.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're right. Okay, so this is probably very likely going to be Left Behind only. And
Yes.
I like that we're getting a lot of stuff in the Federal. Like that's great too. And like American Dream stuff too.
Yes.
Then we're probably going to handle David and all that, and then we'll get to Salt Lake City and we're off. Yeah, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I think it is. Oh, one last thing. I didn't want to bring this up. This is another tidbit. This is actually something I found out this morning when I was on TikTok and I was scrolling through, and there was this girl, and she was like, "Hey, you know this part at the end of Last of Us, the last episode? That's me." And she's talking about the song that is playing
Yeah.
the rendition of Depeche Mode's "Never Let Me Down Again." So she did that song, and you know why? Because she's the daughter of Craig Mason.
Ah, very nice.
And he tells the story on the podcast of like how he got her to do it. It's a very sweet story.
Very
So,
nice.
very nice. So yeah, shout out to Craig Mason's daughter. Fucking
Killed it.
Great cover.
Yeah.
Great song. Great cover. So yeah.
I love this show. Oh, I can't wait for next week. It's because I'll be on the plane. Wait, do I get back? Yeah, I'll be on the plane when this premieres, but I'm gonna watch it as soon as I get back. Obviously, cannot wait. Cannot wait. I love this episode a lot. I think we get a lot of really good stuff here with Joel. Obviously, I think that's. I feel like the biggest focus here, amongst Tommy and Maria, of course, and everyone and all that. But yeah, I really like what this episode did for Joel as a character specifically. I feel like we pushed the bounds that the games never did with Joel. Yes. And I think it's really great. I really like this episode for sure.
Yeah. And I'm very excited for the next two episodes to be primarily Bella Ramsey based, right? It's going to be Left Behind. It's going to be the David stuff, which is a very powerful thing for Ellie in that game. So the fact that we're going there, we're really going to get a lot of stuff.
I'm eager to see what people think about the David stuff. I'm very eager to see what
Yeah.
yeah.
But, by the way, Troy Baker is going to be in that part. So we're going to see. Do you think Joel's going to kill Joel?
Dude, my hope is that they do the interrogation scene and Joel is the one in the chair. I mean, Troy Baker's the one in the chair. And it's face to face Joel and Joel. Dude. Dude, please. Please. Because that was Nolan North and Troy Baker, right? In the game, I think?
Nolan North is David.
No.
I
I know he's David, but didn't he also do the voice of that one raider that was in the seat?
I'm not sure.
In the torture scene? I feel like that's right. I don't. You know what? Actually, I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that.
I know. Yeah, I know he's David. I didn't know if Nolan North showed up. I'm very excited for season 2 because we're gonna get some fun little Easter eggs of Laura Bailey might show up.
Hell
That'd be
fucking
kinda cool.
yeah, dude. Hell fucking
dude.
yeah, man.
That's pretty cool.
I last knock and then we can end off here. One last knock. You brought it up a few weeks ago, right? I would have loved to have seen our boy Gustavo on the porch chilling in Jackson.
I agree.
Hopefully next season. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
He can play the same. Hey guys, just same character. Just get him there chilling with his dog. You know what I'm saying? He's cool. He'd be alright. Would really like to see that. But
Yes.
that's about it. Episode 6.
There
We're
it
gonna
is.
get some really juicy stuff here next few episodes, boys. Strap in. Until then, Mario, where can the people find you?
Of course, you can find me over at Point in Progress, where we have all our podcasts, including MC University, where you are going to be dropping this week Deadpool 2, where you're going to see the beginning of my sickness. This, of course, is the end of my sickness. So definitely check that out. We had interesting things to say about that movie and the future of Deadpool 3. And then, of course, you can find me over at youtube.com/ oh my God, I'm so tired. This is what happens when you start getting infected by a fungal disease. You start losing it.
It's taking over.
Oh God, I keep saying the same thing. Twitter.com/ that Mario Rivera. Oh my, click.
I like that red carpet clip of Bella Ramsey doing the noise of the clickers. Yo, she's a good man. I'm like, hey, yo, you kind of killing
Scary.
that. Yeah.
Scary.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, you kind of killing that. Links below, tomorrow's links down below as well. Of course, it's Twitter, Point in Progress, Linktree, all that great stuff. And you can find us there too, down below. Twitter, Discord, all that great stuff. PSVR 2 content coming in hot. We have a full, thorough info guide in case you want to know the price, release date, launch games, things that I recommend, things that I'm looking out for. That's all there. It's about 20 minutes long. There are timestamps. If you want to jump around to a specific point in the info video, feel free to do that. And then next week, when I get back from my trip, I will be not only 25, but I will be playing with my PSVR 2. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a cool time. I'm excited to get into Horizon. That Star Wars game I'm getting into for sure. I need that. I need to try that. GT7, all that fun stuff. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna be getting into that. And yeah, I'm gonna go beat Dead Space. But that's about it.
I'm gonna go download Last of Us Part 2 by PS5.
Hell yeah. Do that, y'all. Do that.
Give me my project after the show is over. Well, I'm gonna play it with my partner. I think I'm gonna try. I'm trying to convince.
I've never had a game. I swear. Last thing I'll say. I swear to God. Last thing I'll say. But like, there was something about playing part 2 in the year that we did, right? In the time that we did, that experience will forever be etched into my memory, right? Like that playthrough. Like usually, I'm really bad at remembering game plots, right? Like I just know I liked it, I didn't like it. I'll maybe know some big scenes, whatever, but like I don't remember a lot of games that I usually play if it's been like a few years, right? I still recall part 2 very well, you know, and like oh man, and I was streaming those two. Like I remember being 3 a.m. like wandering through Seattle and like going off stream and being like, fuck, like where it's weird. Like where
you thinking that Seattle, or even that area is just like the big open area. Oh, that's gonna be the whole game. It's gonna be like Breath of the Wild, and then it opens up into different areas. Yeah,
dude, part 2, man. What a fucking game, man. What a fucking game.
Can't wait to experience it again.
Indeed. Thank y'all for watching, and as always, greatness awaits.
Greatness awaits.